All right, I'm doing a little before shot here on a Hinge-Cut bedding area. I gotta tell you, this logging has been just fun to look at. So I snuck into this area because I have a spot I've been wanting to do a Hinge-Cut in for quite a while. And I get in here and all these bedding, or these tops, there were, I don't know, a pile of does and fawns. As soon as I stepped foot in the woods, they went brambling back, running back that direction. So boy, it's definitely a game changer, this logging, just to have all this debris on the ground. And I mean, this is, like I said, wide open woods before, and I've stepped into 2 spots of it and kicked up deer. So but I've been wanting to do this Hinge-Cut for a while. I still got a little bit of time left before I'm too worried about kicking deer. They're definitely still in their summer patterns, so time to get to work because I want to add some more cover. So what I'm going to do is, I have a little Hinge-Cut bedding area over here. You can see it's definitely grown up quite a bit. I'm going to add to it. I'm going to be Hinge-Cutting right around here and just kind of swinging through that way. These are mostly, there's some basswood, some young maple. If there's any oaks, I'll definitely be leaving those. But basswood and maple mostly, which hinge awesome. So I'm going to do, just kind of add this area. It's probably going to be a 1/4 acre, 1/2 acre, and add a little cover and go from there. But boy, this woods, I mean, it's wide open where they log, but these treetops, those deer are in them. I mean, they've been out of here for one day from logging. I mean, yesterday they finished up in this section and walking it today, and there's deer all over it. So that's pretty exciting. It's going to be a fun hunting season. But here's the before shot. I will come back to you with the after shot soon. All right. Well, it's 3 days later since I did my before shot. I ended up cleaning up some trails through the logging and cleaning up some deer stands. That first day I cut a little bit, but didn't get a chance to finish it up. So finished up the cut today. I think I'm going to be done in this piece of timber for this year. I want to let it be. We've had a lot of commotion with the logging, and now me coming in here and doing a little cutting. So I did what I wanted to get done today to get some more cover on the ground. And now we're just going to let it sit till hunting season. So, but I'll show what I got done today. So my goal with Hinge-Cuts always is to kind of try fan outward if I can. And then I do lower cuts when I'm fanning to the outside, more of those waist level cuts, because my purpose with them is primarily screening. So you can see these cuts on the outside are lower. But then when I start to get into the core area, I'll start to do a little bit higher cuts so the deer can move underneath them. I can make these neat little canopied bedding areas. I'll show you one I got right in here. I mean, this is a perfect little canopied bed. You can add a log in there if you want. I'll probably do that at some point. I don't think I'll get to it this year, but I'll fine-tune the bedding areas in the years ahead. But I mean, it's not necessary, but I've done it, and I've seen deer bed next to it, and I haven't done it, and I've seen deer bed where I rake out the leaves. So you can do it if you'd like, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but I'll probably add one eventually. So I like making those little beds like that, and like I've said in other videos, you always want to have multiple escape routes, otherwise the deer tend to not use them. They don't want to feel boxed in, because if the predator or something were to come, they're trapped in a corner, and they're just kind of a sitting duck. So here again, kind of fan to the outside, and then on the inside here I cut them high enough so I can go underneath them, so can the deer. Let's see, I was pretty aggressive with my cutting, left a few trees up, but my goal is primarily to get a lot of sunlight in here. There's another little bedding nook, and a little escape hatch out the back. And a little bedding spot right here. Not this one, right up in there. Not so much canopied, but more that side cover aspect to that area. I've seen deer like to bed in both. I think the doe family groups kind of like these open areas like this, whereas the bucks kind of like those little tucked in areas. So there's the old hinge cut. You can see it's nice and green and starting to really grow up. It was just a small little hinge cut, but the deer have been in it. Actually, I just dropped this tree 3 days ago. You can see that it's all getting nipped at. These maple leaves are getting hit. And the browse in here is pretty heavy. Here, look at the tips of all this stuff. All getting hammered. And by adding more of this area is going to blow up. We got the sunlight in here and got a lot of cover. There's a little bedding nook too. There's kind of an escape that kicks out the back. It might be a little low, but we'll see. See if a deer bed's in it. All right. Again, I was cutting up a little bit higher here so the deer can go underneath, and I've done this in other bedding cuts I've done, and I mean the deer go right under them, no issue. So here's where some logging tops and stuff ended up, because my old hinge cut's up in there, so I ended up having to clean it up a little bit. And that's one thing when you do these bedding cuts, you want to make sure that it's easy for the deer to meander around in them, because if they can't, they're not going to use it. I got another little bed up in here. See the bedding spot, and there's an escape out the back. So what I tend to do with these is I try to drop my big trees first. If I don't end up doing that, you'll end up making a nice little bedding spot, and then you're like, oh shoot, I got one tree to knock down. You knock down a bigger tree and it smashes everything. So if at all possible, try to knock your bigger trees down first. Here's an area that got a little bit thicker because there's a lot of logging tops in here, but you can see made a nice little bed there. It's got a good backstop, and then the escape going out that way, entrance from here. Like I said, I'll probably do a lot more fine tuning to these bedding areas in the years ahead. Today my goal is just to get bedding in here, and with it being mid-July, I have a lot more cutting I want to do. I'll probably push it this year till maybe that second week in August. I ideally try to be out of the woods by August 1st, but I want to get some stuff set up for the hunting season. So, and when we're doing this kind of stuff, this is more fall habitat. It's not so much your summer habitat. We like that high stem count cover in the fall, and that's what we're trying to create. Here's a little bedding nook. Good escape out the back. Actually, this one's got 3 escapes. I did throw a log there because I just happen to have one close by. Again, you can just see it's easy to move around in here. All kinds of decent bedding structure. Got a cool little bed tucked up over this direction. See it right here. Nice little bedroom. Cutting out this way. Well, we're kind of at the top of the hill here, and then it does slope down, and some of these trees I dropped down this direction. And it kind of set up perfect right here for a little bed too. You can almost see this being like a little buck bed. A bull buck I shot a couple years ago was bedded up against a log just like that. And I put a bed on this side and one on the back side with a nice little escape going that way. Not sure which direction they want to bed on. It's flatter here, but sometimes they do bed with a slight slope, but they'll bed with their feet going downhill. So gave them a couple options. And now we're back in the beginning, and you can see right in here I left a lot of smaller trees. I left them more just for trees that the bucks can beat up on when they come in here. There's a lot of little pole timber type stuff. Good scraping trees. You can see there's an old scrape on this one right here. but there wasn't really much for bedding here. But now that I added the bedding, I anticipate these little trees are going to get hammered pretty good. There's an old one right there too. So, all right, well, that was the project for today. This woods is set up for the fall, and can't wait to get back in here middle of September. All right, y'all, take care. God bless.